Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It comes in 1/32 scale and it copies CR.42 Falco, but this time we get a combo kit, so we have also Italian pilots in tropical uniform. This might be a handy addition for your diorama project in a 1/32 scale, and that's why I decided to take a closer look. So you can see here, let's say, the final shape of this kit, and you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. Box art is quite nice. Kit number is 32025, and here you can see comparison with my hand. It's I would say typical ICM box. Here on this side we have some information about the kit. So there are 161 parts plus 28 parts for figures, and we also have some information about wingspan. So it's 303 millimeters, and also length 268 millimeters. And on the opposite side, I guess we will see two markings which are included into this kit, but frankly speaking, I hope that there will be more, because it's strange to see only two markings in such large kit. So just like any previous or recent release from ICM, this one is sealed with the tape, so I'm going to cut through it now and we will check everything together. And in the meantime, I would like to remind you that you can support us with a small donation. It's quite easy thing to do because we do it via PayPal, and you just have to press the big red button on our website and you will be good to go. And of course, all this money, they will be used in order to get some new interesting kits, maybe improve our equipment and other useful things as well. So now I'm going to open this box. The overall box structure is standard. As you can see, it's a flexible top cover and it does not provide any protection, while all the protection is supplied with this white box, which I'm going to open right now. And here you can see all the plastic sprues which are packed into the same plastic bag, so I'm going to move them aside and we will take a closer look together. So just to remind you, here are all the sprues, resealable plastic bag, and also we have figures in the separate plastic bag. But that's a standard thing for such combo sets from ICM. And now I just need to place everything aside. So here we have this small plastic bag with a clear frame. It's also a resealable plastic bag. And as far as I remember, CR.42 was accompanied with masks template, so you don't have to worry about masking this part. And I will show it in a second. So here it is. Let's zoom in, and here you can take a closer look. So it's a windscreen, and as you can see, molding quality looks really good, so it's just a matter of careful painting. And considering the fact that we have masks template, it will be quite an easy thing to do. Next we start with gray plastic sprues. So here's the first one. Here we have fuselage halves, and both are molded together with a tail fin. So if I zoom out, you understand what I'm talking about. And it's quite nice molding quality. We have really nice surface here, and of course recessed panel lines, but they're not that deep. So if I zoom in, you can see that they are more or less okay for the scale, but I wouldn't recommend to go overboard with several layers of primer, paint and other stuff on your aircraft. Here, by the way, you can see landing gear wheels. Obviously it would be a good idea to replace them with some resin set. And here we can take a look at what is hidden inside. There is not that much because cockpit will be assembled separately, but at least here we have guiding elements which will help you with better alignment of the parts in your model. Next we continue with another gray plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to wing halves. So again, I have to zoom out first so that you can understand. Here we have separate ailerons. We also have the tail wings, and I'm trying to let's say invent the name for this, but this is actually the cooling panel. Here we have cockpit floor. Of course we have also the parts for the cooling here, and also propeller hub here, and of course elevators here. Everything looks cool. And if I flip it over on the opposite side again, you can see some guiding elements. They will be handy, but note that tail wings should be glued out of two halves, so be ready for that. Okay, let's place it aside. Next we continue with one more gray plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to landing gear legs, propeller, and also I can see wing struts. So let's zoom in a bit. Here we also have some cockpit elements and landing gear legs here, so everything looks cool, and it's just a matter of careful assembly and you will be good to go. Here, by the way, you can see side panels for the cockpit, also some parts for the engine, which should be really detailed here out of the box. And here you can take a look at the propeller, which is also nice. So I like what ICM gives here. Let's not forget that this is a large scale model, so that's why it's really cool thing to see it out of the box. And again, parts count is not crazy, so that's why it's even better. Next, we continue with two identical plastic frames. So I will show you only one because there is no need to show the same stuff again and again. Here we have landing gear fairings and bombs, and everything looks cool. So there is nothing to mention. Of course, inside we have guiding elements both for landing gear wheels and also for these halves to be combined together. So again, it should be easy thing to do. And the last gray plastic sprue is dedicated to these parts. So here we have lower wings and engine parts and also some cooling panels. So let's zoom out a bit. Here you can take a look at them. And as I said, engine is surprisingly detailed for out-of-the-box version, so it would be a wise idea to work on some painting techniques, maybe add some additional features with the scratch building, because it will be quite a nice power plant. And of course, it's worth thinking how to open the cooling, because cooling here is not, let's say, openable. You cannot assemble it in a opened position. That's why you have to take it into the account and think through how you can replicate it on your model. Here, by the way, you can see cockpit wall, which I said before, it is molded as a separate part. Here we have lower wing halves, and here is another cockpit wall which will be installed from the opposite side. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. So let's place this sprue aside. Next we have another plastic bag. As you remember, I said that figures are packed into the separate plastic bag. Here they are. It's also a resealable plastic bag, so I'm going to open them right now. And from what I can see, parts design is more or less similar to what we are used to see in 1/35 scale, so you will not be surprised here with something unusual. And that also means that we will have separate legs, hands, one-piece torso. We even have dog included here, so that's why it would be worth zooming in so that you can check them a bit closer. Of course, facial features look really good here, so it's just a matter of careful painting and you'll have a really nice result. As you can see, pilots are supplied in different poses, which is also quite a handy thing, because they won't be just as a clones standing beside aircraft. They're a bit different, what should give a bit more realistic appearance to your build. Next, we also have large decals sheet, which is hidden in the assembly manual. So this one carries all necessary symbols for several marking options. From what I can see, we have more than two, but let's not jump to the conclusions because it will be worth checking the assembly manual marking guide there. But we have decals for instrument panel, no seat belts unfortunately, but at least something. Of course, you can also get an aftermarket PE from Edward, which will add all the necessary fine features to your model. Okay, now I'm closing the lenses because it's a large, white, color printed brochure. It's assembly manual with short history note on the first page. And next we continue with parts map for the aircraft. That's actually the separate brochure for figures. As you can see, it's Italian pilots in tropical uniform. We have parts map, and here you can see assembly manual, which is combined together with the marking guide, and it's quite understandable, so I don't think you'll have any issues here. Next we continue with the parts map. Again, for the aircraft, red color of course means that these parts will not be used in the current version. Assembly process starts with the cockpit. Here everything should be quite straightforward, so I don't think you'll be lost in some additional steps. Next we continue with this fuselage halves. We insert cockpit in between them and then close them together. Next you continue by working on the cooling panel. You assemble the tail fairings and also separate rudder. you install tail wings and elevators, and then we have whole page dedicated to the engine assembly, which is quite interesting thing. I mean, it gives you an idea of how detailed this engine will be, because a lot of things are actually copied here. But what is not cool is this exhaust tubes, which are assembled out of two halves. So you have to be careful here, and the assembly process continues on the next page. As you can see, you will have to install various minor elements here and there. And from what I can see, you can actually assemble the open cooling, so with removed panels, as you can see here, so it will be exposed, and that's why it might be even better idea to think through how to properly paint it and super detail it. Next we continue with wing struts, and here we install more of them. For the top wing, we assemble top wing with separate ailerons, as you remember. And what is next? Here we install it into the place, we assemble propeller, landing gear with pairing, and of course do not forget about rigging. And here, by the way, you can see the masking template for the windscreen. That's the first marking option, and here we have the second one, so only two marking options to be exact, or to be precise. This is really surprising for 1/32 scale, but still, I think all guys who would like to build something different, they will be able to find some decent aftermarket to be used with this model. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.